Heads podcast live from Pattaya, Thailand with your host Dave D. Join us weekdays. Check out all the latest updates on talkingheads-podcast.com.
And welcome to Pattaya and welcome to Thailand. And yes, we're here again in the podcast studio. And of course, at the head of the table, as per normal, the man himself, feeling not so good at the moment. Bobby Paz, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm actually getting a little better.
You're getting better as the day goes on.
Hitting the ginger tea, lemon, honey, ginger tea, and vitamin C, and I'm feeling better and better.
Well, we're graced in the studio today by the man that spends £1 million a year on flowers, this guy does, believe it or not. Tim Hedges, a.k.a. Mr. Elton John, a.k.a. the jazz musician. Welcome to the studio.
Nice to be here, mate. Yeah.
It's good to see you. And, of course, you brought a bit of colour into the studio.
Yeah, I did. And did you like my jacket?
No, it's a bit dull. Could you get a brighter one?
Perfect. Love it.
Love it. Now what we're gonna do, Tim, is we're gonna have a little bit of a chat. We're gonna go in a couple of songs from you because this guy. It's like one of those things he reminds me of is you talk to him and we have a great conversation. Then he reminds me of those little monkeys that you used to get and you used to wind them up and then you put them on the table and they go. This is Tim. It's true though, isn't it, Tim? Hey, you just go into show mode. It's great.
It was a pleasure listening to him warm up. It was beautiful
anyway,
stuff.
Like we said,
beautiful
Tim,
songwriting.
Like we said, Tim, welcome to the studio.
It's nice to be here.
It's nice to have you in here. For a lot of people that don't know you, I mean, taking you back to years and years ago. I mean, how did you get into the music scene and where did you play?
Well, I mean, I first started in the 60s when I was a kid. I mean, the first gig I had when I was 6 years old.
Wow.
6.5, yeah, in Windsor. I was, born in Portsmouth, but my relatives, I had lots of cousins and things that were getting married at that time in Windsor. And they called me up there and I could play the organ. I was actually an organist at the time. And I had bass pedals and I was playing all the okey-cokey songs and all that. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was my first gig.
And that was in the 60s, yeah. So you were born in 61, weren't you?
Yeah, 1967 was my first gig. So
67, 6 years old.
Wow.
It was when Elton John started, funny enough. That's when he started his career.
Interesting. Was it you were just playing keyboards at that time? Or did you say you had the drum and that?
No, I just had a basic organ with bass pedals, and that was it. And it was called a bird organ. Actually, it's a valve driven by valves. That's how old it was. That's how old we're going back. Wow.
That's about the same. That's about the same as Bobby. He's driven by valves at the moment. I have to pump him up first to get some energy into him to do the show.
Is that true, Bobby?
Okay, don't make fun of me, you guys. Come on.
You should see Bobby's organs.
They're pretty healthy, actually.
We're firing on all cylinders at the moment. Just, of course, and 6 years old, playing the old piano and doing a little bit of the old okey cokey. I mean, when did it sort of dawn on you that you wanted to sort of go into the music sort of side of it?
Well, it was like when I was at school, we had a kind of a piano bar, and it was just me sitting at a grand piano. It was a Bechstein piano up in the music room in a place in a little village. We'd moved to the country by that time. I was about 11 in a smaller school up in the country in a place called Tisbury in Wiltshire, and I was sitting and I had all my friends come around the piano and. They used to ask me for Elton John songs to play Elton John, like Candle in the Wind, funny enough, yeah. And I used to sit there, and I didn't used to sing then, I just used to play, but I could get it together. It wasn't an organ, but I had to adapt, like you do.
Self-taught, Tim?
Totally, totally. From day one, from the moment I was born, I think I started playing.
Can you remember? I mean, this is a question that I've been asked as a DJ as well, actually. What was the first song you ever brought? Yeah, you remember that? Yeah. I can never sort of get that in my brain. Can you remember anything like that?
I do. I remember. I was really inspired by the songwriting of Neil Young, and
okay.
Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young, and Neil Young especially, and.
You remember the
Needle and the Damage Done was the first song I learned on the guitar.
Wow, you're posh. Can you remember, Tim? The first one you ever learned and got through it and sang at the same time?
No, because it was like there was several at the same time. It was like I remember the time when I thought I've got it. I've got something here. I knew that. I was very young and I was sort of like I was self-impressed, yeah. I thought, God, I did that. I know I did that. It was me.
Self-satisfaction, yeah.
Well, it's like a feedback thing, and it sort of like made me want to go on. It drove me on. And don't forget, in those days, there was no like PlayStations, things like that. You know, that was like coming about 30 years' time, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And there was me sort of like that was my PlayStation. That was the piano, you know, the organ, yeah. And I was just getting all this feedback from myself. It's like looking in the mirror, you know, and it was fantastic, you know, how it was developing.
Great feeling, yeah.
Yeah, because my father was giving a lot of encouragement, yeah. But then, you know, there was another side of him that used to slap me off the stool if I got it wrong, you know. So that was a bad side of him. But
I remember watching McCartney, and he said that the Beatles, he says one of the things that they did actually, and I totally agree with him because I've done this actually, and that is he used to sit in the toilet to sing his lyrics because it was the acoustics in the toilet was so good. They used to sing their stuff in the toilet. He says that it all sounds better in the bog, which it does. It's actually true, you know, in that room in his house.
Yeah, the tile.
Yeah, the tiles on that. I mean, it's very funny.
Yeah, I never heard that one. That's
I mean, the old council house where John Lennon and him and everybody was singing the songs. They had the drums in the back room and the guitar and everything. And
she came in through the bathroom window, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Protected by a silver spoon.
Correct. Running
now
down.
She sucks her thumb and wonders.
I'm running down the road, combing my hair. You remember that one, yeah? Well, Dwayne Tonkin, how you doing, Dwayne? All right. Thanks for watching us on the podcast today. Steve Butcher as well, watching us on the podcast today as well. Thank you to all you guys that have sent me messages so far since we've been on air, which is how long we've been on air now? About what, 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
10, 15 minutes. Brandon, how you doing? Sinead, Bobby, okay, Richard, thanks a lot. Mark, Jonathan, how you doing? Sheena, Daryl, of course, thanks a lot. Owen, Ricky, Nat, Andy, Justin, the venue, of course, down the cabaret venue down at Pattaya. They're watching at the moment. Harold Roberts, and of course, we've got to say hello to Dave, Bob, and Gary. Thanks a lot for all sending me a message at the moment. It's nice to have you on board. And of course, welcome to Talking Heads. This is Talking Head Podcast. In the studio today, Tim Hedges, who's just had a quick change. Look at that, eh? By the magic of science. Now, of course, doing your first song and saying to yourself, hey, you know what? I can play. This feels good. Where did you go from there?
After that, I sort of, I suppose it was just like from school. I just went, when I left home, when I ran away from home. when I ran away from home, I went to live with my grandmother, and I got my first gig actually in a little hotel in a place called Fareham, okay, which is between Southampton and Portsmouth and Gosport. It's like that area. In any case, and this roundabout hotel was like a famous place where a lot of famous people went to sing. I mean, Lenny Henry was there. I met him, and he was doing a gig there.
Oh, yeah. Nice guy.
Joe Brown and the Brothers.
Joe Brown, that's taking us back in a bit.
Yeah, and they were all going down there, and I was sort of not part of the act, but I was playing in the lounge, and it was a kind of a hotel, kind of a small hotel, but it was a place where the owner knew all these top acts, you know, and I got to meet all of them. But I was just the pianist playing there, and my day job was cleaning helicopters in a Navy.
Hang on, whoa, hang on a minute. So you clean, you're singing and playing at night, yeah? You're messing around, and then the way you've just said that, it's just rolled off your tongue very easy. Oh yeah, I was playing the piano at night, and in the daytime, I cleaned helicopters.
Yeah, that was all I was doing at the time. That job didn't last long, so I went to grave dig. You know, I was a grave digger.
So you went from helicopters to grave digging. Yeah, that's not much of a career change, is it?
It was a dead end job. Dead end job. And I had 500 people under me.
We got to say, Dwayne Tonkin, okay, he's just said big shout out to Tim from some fans here in Melbourne, Australia. We've been looking forward to his appearance tonight, so there you go.
Yeah, Dwayne, yeah.
Dwayne,
he's a good friend.
Yeah, okay, well, Dwayne, thanks a lot. He watches the show a lot, doesn't he, Bobby?
He's on every day.
He's on every day, so we got to say thanks a lot. So.
Big supporter. Thank you, Dwayne.
Thanks a lot for supporting us. I mean, you know, what we're doing is we're trying to have a bit of fun here and create a bit of atmosphere and at the same time get a bit of entertainment and insights to a lot of people that come on the show. So far, so good, as they say. So cleaning helicopters, playing the piano, I mean, where did you go from there? Because you like your jazz music as well, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, after that, I sort of wanted to I got itchy feet, and I wanted to get into a band. I was only 17, 18, yeah, and so I wanted to get into. So I got into this new wave band, which was a band that was a branch off from Joe Jackson and Arms and Legs.
The same Joe Jackson that sang Stepping Out, yeah?
Yeah, the same one. This other group branched off from them, and Mark Andrews, and we had a few of this. We nicked a few of his songs before. They weren't his. They were his songs, but part of his songs he'd written. Yeah, and so that was quite interesting. And we were hanging out in all the same places, and we watched all the new wave things start up. It was like a punk, but new wave. It wasn't with the. It wasn't.
Was it
punk.
like? Would you say the new wave? I mean, if I remember rightly, in those days was sort of like. I remember the group Flock of Seagulls. Yeah, was that right? They were sort of new wave-ish. Would you say?
Well,
what was your inspiration?
Well, no, I think what it was. All of us liked the. I mean, I wasn't a particular fan of the Sex Pistols or anything like that, but I did like the.
Never Mind the Bollocks was a great album. What's up with you?
I did it my way. No. So what was the song that? What was the band that? I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I can't even remember the group. I must be getting old or something.
Yeah, we are getting old. Well, do you realise? Do you realise that the combined age in this studio at the moment is 183?
It's scary, man.
Could you tell me my name, please? Stranglers, that's it, Stranglers.
The Stranglers, Golden Brown. There we go.
No, it was before that when they were doing the other stuff. Stick my fingers right up your nose.
Stick my fingers right up your nose.
That was a great song, wasn't it?
It was. Bit of a dead end, but it was okay. But I like. Did you like all the Stranglers? And did you like all that kind of stuff?
Well, I mean, I like the synthesizer running all the way through it. I mean, synthesizer was coming into their time then, and I sort of like I had one.
What was that band? The Sparks. You remember them? Sparks.
Oh, they were great. They were great. The funny guy with the moustache.
Yeah, funny guy on the keyboard with the moustache. You remember that one?
Yeah, but the music was fantastic.
It was. Yeah. It was. So where did you go? I mean, joining a band, yeah.
Yeah, I joined that band. We toured the UK. We went everywhere, and that ended as things did, and I started my own band. And then I was a train driver.
Hang on, whoa, slow down on the train. You started your own band, which was what kind of band?
Well, a new wave band.
A new wave band. So
that was in Salisbury.
In Salisbury. Yeah, so then you started to be a train driver.
Yeah, that's when I was a train driver. I learned to drive trains, from London to Cornwall. So it was a Great Western.
So you were an engineer?
I was a footplate. No, I was a footplate fireman. What I called a fireman.
Oh, was this steam?
No, I wasn't that far back, mate.
We're not that old, man.
Well, when he said footplate, man, I thought he was lobbing the coal in. It's like that's on the Orange Express.
Yeah, but you would think that by the way they act and do. They carry these billy cans around with them. These old drivers.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, still got the billy cans. But see now they even take them billy cans with them.
Oh, what they used to use on the steam engine, but yours is an electric one, is it, or diesel powered?
We were diesel powered.
Powered.
Yeah, in those days that was don't forget it was the late 70s.
70s.
Yeah, that was the late 70s.
Intercity links and all those in those days, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
quick shout out to Earl, Ben, Gil. How you doing, Paul, Amanda? Thanks a lot for getting in contact with us. Leo, Brian, of course, Asifa, and Nicholas. Thanks a lot for joining us on the chat at the moment. I'm on my chat, so there we go. We're on the Talking Heads as well. So if you want to go into there, you're more than welcome. The live links on there. So going from the train and driving it, Tim. Of course, one thing is, of course, you saved a fortune.
Yeah.
You didn't really.
I didn't pay any fares, but I had nowhere to go, so it didn't matter. I mean, I didn't want to go anywhere. It was just on my own. I was 19 years old.
Right.
It was not such a good time, and I was starting this band. And it was not easy. It wasn't,
and this is what though? What year is this, Tim?
This was 1980.
So 1980, you're starting a band. Of course, at 1980, there's a lot of bands out there in 1980.
Yeah.
A lot of bands, and of course, they're all trying to make it to the big time and get their top hits or whatever you want to say. So, got to say hello to Russell Whitmore. He's just sent us a message. So, how are you, Russell? Right, nice to have you on board. Right, we're going to play another track, Tim. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
What would you like to play?
Well, shall we try the other one, the other Elton John, the Pinball Wizard?
Yeah, sure. I love Pinball Wizard. I love Pinball Wizard. Bobby, what do you think, mate? Enjoying it?
I'm totally enjoying it.
Huh?
Yeah.
What's that? What's that? Something's playing still. I don't know what's playing.
We have a backing track still.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, just turn it off.
There we go. See, technicology.
Yeah.
Should have stuck to the steam engine, Tim.
Cover me for a minute.
Yeah. Bobby, of course, I mean, back in the 1980s, I don't know, where was you in the 80s? Was you over in the US or?
I had moved from New York to Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was it like over there, sort of like in the band sort of section and like group sections and people making, getting together and playing in groups? Was it as hard as it was in the UK, you think?
Well, I was in Colorado, and there was like the new wave thing was definitely happening in Colorado.
Was it? What bands, was there any UK bands coming over to Colorado, or was it just American bands?
Pretty much American bands, and living in the Rockies, living in the mountains, there was there's a lot of country rock music happening. So bluegrass, country rock, rock and roll, and folk music, and yeah. But the Police, would you guys consider the Police new wave?
No.
No?
No. I wouldn't.
What would you consider the Police?
Pop.
Pop.
Yeah, I mean, that's a matter of, that's down to a dispute over whatever people.
But when they first started, they were new wave punk, weren't they? Ish.
If I speak to Stuart Copeland tomorrow, on the chat, which I've done before, he's going to kick my head in. You know that, don't you?
He will.
Saying that, but he's into all the big orchestra classic stuff now.
Yeah, he's doing the film thing.
He is. Yeah. But I would say they were on the sort of on the edge of new wave. Yeah, we're right, Tim.
But after Roxanne came out, they were considered pop.
Roxanne. He was an English teacher as well.
What's that?
Sting. He was an English teacher first. Same as Tim here, you see. Tim was an English teacher, and now he's Elton. What can we say? You're all right with that technology?
Oh, there's technology.
Hang on, if you want me to download the handbook.
I think I go back to the train driving.
Stick to the steam trains. No, but I mean, it's, new wave. I mean, over in the UK, I mean, backwards and forwards with me, I was sort of like in the UK and backwards and forwards, but there was some good stuff come out in the 80s.
So the Sex Pistols, that would be new wave.
Yeah, I mean, new wave punk.
Punk, yeah.
Punk, I mean, it's, what was big over there where you were, though? Okay. Yeah, it's all right. We're into this now, Tim. You can forget you now, mate. We're into another conversation now. You were on last week. What was the big stuff over where you were?
In America?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was like I said, rock and roll, R&B, jazz, pop music for sure. But living in the mountains, living in Colorado, a lot of country music, a lot of country rock.
What do you reckon, Tim? What was some of your big influences?
As regards to what
to new wave bands, I mean,
okay,
you got
I like Elvis Costello.
So was he considered new wave?
Yeah, he was good. I mean, new wave. I mean, Duran Duran, Depeche Mode, The Cure. You've got people like that. They're classing as sort of like a new wave. I mean, Human League. Remember, Blondie came in, Devo came in.
I like the Cure. Those guys were cool.
And of course, Talking Heads. Hello. We're in Talking Heads. Well, we don't even think of them.
Yeah, that was yeah.
They were pretty cool. The Cars. Can I drive you home tonight? Tears for Fears.
Devo.
Tears for Fears. The Police are actually classed as new wave.
That's what I thought.
In 1980s, believe it or not, yeah. Thompson Twins, people like those. I mean, wow. Echo and the Bunnymen. Remember those Spandau Ballet as well? All down there as new wave stuff, which they were. They all wore those tight, baggy trousers, baggy shirts. Also looked like somebody had nicked the tablecloth.
But all through this, Elton John went straight through it, didn't he?
Yeah.
He didn't falter. He just went straight. It didn't matter what came along.
Yeah. Him just ploughed on, didn't he?
He ploughed on. The Rolling Stones and a few others like Rod Stewart. They sort of like stayed, didn't they?
They stayed in. I mean, Elton John sort of created so many different faces to him, through the years, which was great.
He reinvented himself many times.
Oh, many times.
And his costumes and all that. He didn't change his costume on stage as much as what I do, though.
Yeah. Have we got Pinball Wizard? Are you in?
I've got it. Are you going, guys?
Yeah, I'm ready when you're ready.
Go on, let's do it.
Is that it? We love this one. Here it is for you. If you're out there talking heads, this is Pinball Wizard.
Since I was a young boy, I played a silver ball from soul down the road, and I must have played them all. I ain't seen nothing like it, and that amusement hall. That's every time I'm playing, it's so pleasant being pinball. never talks at all. The turf on my blanket, sharp plays a mean pinball. He's a pinball wizard, has to pitch with. A pinball wizard got such a supple rail. I don't know what makes him so good. Starts like statue, I don't hear no buff, no bows. Don't see lots of flashing, I play by sense of spell. All these kids we play, never talks at all. The taft on my blanket, so I play the mean pinball. Can't beat him now, I was being the shit. I know every trick, no beat's gotta beat my head. And he can't beat my pass. Beside us feed him in, and he just doesn't rest. Crazy from my face, I never stood at all. That every time I play here, shall play the mean pinball. He's a pinball wizard, I have to be with. A pinball wizard got such a simple will. He's a pinball wizard, scoring even more. A pinball wizard, loving that pinball. He's scoring more. Come on. Was a barrel junkie, and I've just had my film ball around to him, to him, to him.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Night that one. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. Pull your microphone up to that one, the talky one, then we can go for that. There we go. Pinball Wizard, of course. Song written by Pete Townsend, of course, performed by the English band The Who.
So what arrangement was that?
1969.
No, this is another arrangement completely. This
From where? Tell me.
This was done in the 1976, I believe. 1976 when they did the Tommy movie.
Ah, okay.
And actually, they did it in Portsmouth, and I saw the big giant balls, the big silver balls that they used in it. And actually, Pete Townsend burnt down the pier in Portsmouth in Southsea. He actually burnt down for effect, and that's actually in the film itself.
Seriously?
Yeah, and Elton John was playing actually a pinball machine in the film.
Yeah, he did it with the big shoes on, didn't he?
Yeah, giant shoes, and but he was only just like a part of it. He wasn't. He was supposed to be. I know he wasn't. He was actually like playing a pinball piano.
Yeah.
And Roger Daltrey was actually the lead singer.
Yeah.
But this actual one was done after by Elton John. I really it's crazy.
It was the rock opera, wasn't it? If I remember rightly, what they classed it as.
Yeah, Roger Daltrey was playing a part, but he wasn't playing a singing part. That's right. Yeah, so I remember it. It was just I remember them cutting him off with his head side to side like this. And but it was a great little production, you know.
It was
fantastic. Yeah.
I like the modulations at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a brilliant. This is one of the songs I play on my show. Incidentally, guys, I'm doing parties and stuff like that. If you're interested.
Oh yeah.
Listen, mate, we don't charge a lot for self-promotion. Don't worry about that. It's in the contract, isn't it? It's in the small print. It's on the Amazon Alexa, isn't it? With the small print at the side of it. We're recording everything you say.
They are.
They are, of course. Okay, so you're on the road. You've got your band together, and you've decided to go out there and try and make some money. Did it work?
No, it didn't. This band of mine was just like a sort of what you call a backstreet band. It never got. We did about 2 or 3 gigs. That was all. And the band members with me were not really into what I was doing. I was doing my own stuff, and they weren't into it. And they wanted the rock, you know. So it wasn't a happy situation. It wasn't a happy family. So I'm glad when that all finished. Yeah. And
so what was the move after that? I mean, you know, you've got a band, you're out there, you've done a few gigs, you've not made a lot of money, it's not working. They're not into it, you're not into it. I mean, where do you go?
Then I put another advert out, you know, for anybody who wanted a keyboard player, and I got interest in Southampton. A Southampton band wanted me to go down, so I went down and joined this funk disco band. Yeah, and we were doing songs like Summer Breeze, not Summer Breeze. The summer, and I saw him standing there doing the summer.
Oh, that's the Southern Freeze.
Southern Freeze,
yeah. That was by Freeze, the band.
Yeah, we did that, and we did that actual version. We did all the songs exactly to the T, like Move Up to Your Bumper, Baby. That was at that time.
That was great. Grace Jones, yeah.
We were doing all those songs, but it was a 7-piece band, and we were doing exactly, like the record. It was
that one, the Freeze, Southern Freeze, was one of my all-time favourites. I mean, that was an absolutely brilliant track.
It was well put together.
There was one that I played at the side of it. That was called Freeze by Southern Freeze, and there was another one called Space Bass by Slick. And they sort of ran together, you know what I mean? They were sort of the same kind of way, made the same way. But Slick's one wasn't. There was nothing in it. It was just instrumental, but it was a fantastic track. Yeah. But the 80s for me, the music-wise, the 80s into the early 90s was a phenomenal time for me, like it was for a lot of people for 60s. For me, as my age, I really thrived on the late 70s, 80s music. It was sort of my peak for me as a DJ. So
this band succeeded because we did all the top places in Eastleigh and Southampton, Portsmouth, and and whatever. But these guys started to get silly after the gigs and started throwing food about in Chinese restaurants, and I wasn't into that.
No.
And so they cast me out. They outcast me. Said, "Come on, guys, behave." He said, "No, we don't want to behave." I said, "We're going to be really stupid." So that's what you want to do, guys. I'm leaving. So I left.
Yeah.
Then I applied for some agencies that did work in Spain, and I went to Spain as a piano player.
This is where I'm coming from. I mean, you ended up in Spain playing the piano over there, didn't you?
I was a piano man, wasn't I?
I mean,
it's a song. You're the piano man.
Yeah. What did you? Can you remember a track you played from over there? I mean, you just burst into something there. Is that something you played?
Piano Man. I used to play that all the time. Yeah, and of course it was. Was
that the Bobby Joel one?
Elton
Joel.
Billy
Joel. Billy Joel. Yeah, Billy Joel.
Billy Joel. That was before karaoke, so it was like all the rage. You know, you had an open mic around the piano. Actually, this looks like a piano bar because that's what it would be. People sitting around like this around a big piano. And you'd have an open mic. It'd be all dark inside, like, you know. So
did you ever have anybody lean over to you in a white suit with a dicky bow on and go, "Play it again, Tim"?
I had it all the time. And they were and they had this great big brandy jar in the middle, and they would stick all the money in it. It was a great feeling. But we had to share all the singers now because I wasn't the only one, like different artists. That was in Portabanús in Marbella, you know.
Marbella, yes, I do Portabanús. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. So what would it be? So if I came in, I mean, you can just give me a little bit of ivory there. You know, if I'm walking into this bar. Let's set the scene, Bobby. Me and you are walking into this bar. We're walking into this bar. There's me and you, and we want to go to the and I'm talking to you in the back. Let's set the scene, right? It's right in the movie, right? So we've got a bit of piano in the back over there. Hi, Bobby. How are you?
I'd be rather walking in with a bird instead of you.
But I've got my high heels on tonight, and I've got my wig on, Bobby, just for you.
Oh, good.
There's a piano player over in the corner, Bobby, and he's doing his thing.
He sounds really good.
He does, doesn't he? I mean, in that
tasty.
He's a piano player, not a McDonald's. But you can imagine it. You can set the scene, can't you? Just like that. I mean, how good is it with that in the background?
Yeah.
Huh? I love jazz. Keep going. Don't stop.
Go on, Tim. You can give us one off the wrist.
Oh yeah, all right. So I'll give this.
Go on, you give us one off the wrist. You do whatever you want to do, mate. The floor is yours. Hang on, do you want us to put a glass in the middle and put some money in to make you feel at home?
I'll tell you what, that would be a great idea. Actually.
That's a shit idea. Just play.
£1,000 minimum. Okay. I left a good job in the city. Looking for the man every night and day. I never lost a minute of sleep and worry about the way things might have been. We used to find and turn, proud and keep on burning, rolling on the river. And there's a lot of places in Memphis. A lot of places in New Orleans, but I'm never on the good side to sit in until I'm here to find people that keep on turning, proud man, keep on burning, rolling down the river.
Bobby, a whiskey, don't you?
I'll have a brandy, please.
YouTube's gonna love us, you know that, don't you?
Right, there you go again.
You know.
Yeah, rolling down the river. Yeah, rolling down the river. Oh, rolling down the river.
Oh yeah.
That was a classic one.
I like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You like that, Bobby?
Yeah.
Rolling on the river. I mean, how long ago is that?
I'd say 68, 67.
68, 67. I mean,
Tina Turner. Wasn't it?
huh?
Tina Turner.
Written by John Fogerty, wasn't it? I believe.
Tina Turner. Oh.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, written by John Fogerty.
Yeah.
A long, long time ago, and it was released in 1969.
Okay, I was a little early.
So there you go. 69 it was released.
I know that Tina Turner had a go at it. Yeah.
She did. It's one of those things that in a concert where she's going tick tock, isn't she? In the concert, she does the arm swinging. Blood Mary, yeah, really good. But I mean, in those piano bars, I mean, in those days, I mean, surely it was like all the tourists walking in and sitting around you, and all the business guys and with their ladies and that. And
It wasn't just that; it was all the stars. I mean, Shirley Bassey came in, sang a song with me. The Stevie
Wow.
Wonder, yeah, they all came. He was guided in one day, and we did 4 hands, me and him. Yeah, Jim Davison.
Come on.
Jim Davison, the comedian, he came in one day. Yeah, they all come in. They all come in.
Stevie came in?
Julio Iglesias.
Stevie Wonder came in?
Stevie Wonder came in. Was guided in.
Yeah.
Couldn't.
Yeah, sure.
Set him at the piano, and he said, "No, I want to stay where you are." And we do 4 hands together.
Come on.
Yeah.
Wow.
great days, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, it was amazing.
Shirley Bassey, I've seen her. She's brilliant.
Oh yeah.
What a voice. That's a powerhouse.
Yeah, she's great.
So what about, I mean, these guys, what sort of came into the bar where you were playing the piano, sort of just sat down at the side of you and joined in or listened or what?
It was a famous piano bar called Dukey's. It was packed every night. We had several different musicians used to play in there. This is 1980, 85, 84, 85. And it was just like that. Tom Jones, they were all there. They were sitting in the audience. They were all queuing up to play. They wanted to, for some reason, they wanted to sing there.
To sing there. It was the in thing at the time.
It was
The club had a good vibe, huh?
It was just what they wanted to do in their holiday. You would think that would be a busman's holiday, but at the same time, it was.
How long were you there for, Tim?
They sent me off to Germany in a place called Munich, so I wasn't there for that long. The actual bar themselves, they said they got an offer to send me this other place, and I went. Yeah, so it was about a couple of years in Marbella, but not on that same job, just moving around everywhere. And
this was on your own, though, yeah?
I was living on my own. Yeah, I was 23 years old. Yeah. and playing. It was great. It's fantastic.
So you was on the road. I mean, I was doing a little bit on the road stuff as well. But I mean, so it's a good life, but a lonely life in some cases. And of course, you always hook up with the female species, of course, on the way. That always happens.
I didn't know who I was going to meet next.
Well, that's the best thing, isn't it? I mean, it's like a mystery tour every day. I used to wake up in the morning and go, "Who are you?" I'm Bill. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I must admit, I had a few drinks and some nights, and I wondered who I was with.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've all done that. But I mean, it is. I mean, being on the road, traveling around the world, doing your thing on your own. There's a lot to be said for it because you learn a lot. Yeah, you meet a lot of people on the way, and you have a lot of good memories. Of course, sometimes it's a pain in the arse because the funds that you're making at the time are not good enough to support you. No. And of course, the hotels jump in and give you the room and they give you the food.
No, it wasn't.
And they give you a salary.
It was not that case. Not in my case because. No, definitely because. But when I was wherever I was, I made sure I got a steady job. Yeah. And I was a resident wherever I got, and I often got given a room with my job. Yeah, so I was okay on that one. On that score, I was not. I wasn't sort of like taking them one night here, one night there. It was none of that. No. I made sure I got residencies and I stayed there, and it was just like. Was it like
through an agency or was it yourself, Tim?
No, I just did it myself. The first one was with an agency that didn't work out at all. That was in the Navy Bar. It was a really famous place where Clint Eastwood used to go and have his. He used to go in there. He was regular in there, and that didn't work out at all. And it's a long story, but it wasn't my fault. Basically, they'd send me instead of somebody else, and they didn't want. 23-year-old white, really completely white. I'd never seen the sun, I was like a ghost when I arrived there. But I played okay, but that wasn't. It's all this image thing,
Yeah, sure.
And I was as white as a sheet and young as thin and young and everything. It didn't look like right in place, So yeah,
you had to fit in. Get yourself a suntan.
I got a suntan in the end. But
right, listen, we've got to do something special if that's okay with you guys. I've got a friend of mine over in the UK, Brandon Wiley. He's over there. His man passed away a few weeks ago, and they're over in the UK. And today it's Sally Wiley's funeral day over there, so they're going to be in the church over in the UK. We've got around about a minute, guys. He's just sent me a little bit of a message to say that it's going to be around about a minute. So if we can, if that's okay with you guys, if you don't mind just joining in for a second with me. We got a minute. I like it to be silent, and then after the 1 minute, if you could play the Candle in the Wind, if that's okay with you.
Yes,
if you don't mind. Is that okay with you guys?
Sounds good.
It's a little bit special today, guys, and Brandon's a really good friend of mine, and I knew his mum for many years. She was a great lady, so it's our way of saying from Talking Heads, we're going to pay you a little bit of respect, if that's okay, guys. And then I will sort of give you a nod, Tim. I will put my pen down when he's just about to click it on in the UK, if that's okay. All right?
Sure.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Hi, Norman Jean, though I never knew you at all. You have the grace to hold still the nose around the hall. Not out of the world, and it was burned into your brain. It's such a modern level, and hate to gently. See to me, you lived your life like a candle in the world. You never know who to cling to when the rain set in. I would have liked to have known you, but I was just a kid, and the candle burned out long before the legend daffodil. this was a tough, the toughest role you ever played. How to create a superstar and pay with the price to pay. In the time, and how to tell, and I knew what tough I to say. Just the middle was found to do. It seems to me you lived your life like in the well, never knowing who to lean to and where to set it. Would have liked to know you, but I was just a kid. The kingdom burned down long before the legend ever did. Goodbye, Norma Jean, though I never knew you at all. You heard the rest of what is sealed and hold around to crawl. Goodbye, Norma Jean, just a yam on the 22nd road. It's you for something more than sexy, more than just out of living road. It seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the world, never knowing who to learn to in the rain set hell. Would have liked to know you, but I was just a kid, and the candle burned out long before the legend ever did. The candle burned out long before the legend ever did. And the candle burned out long before the legend ever did.
Wow, beautiful.
Thank you, Tim. And there we go, Sally Wiley over in the UK. Our thoughts are with everybody today and their family. Thanks a lot, guys. If you're over there listening, our thoughts from the podcast studio, from Bobby and from Tim as well. Hopefully you enjoyed that, yes?
Yeah.
There we go. Thanks a lot for that one, Tim. Okay, so, of course, what can we say from the piano bar and all these people around you? I mean, where did your sort of legs take you then? Do you want to pull the other mic in, buddy? Get it right up to that moment we can hear you. Sorry, mate.
I feel like a DJ, you know.
You look like one.
Where did I go from there? Well, where was I?
Well, I mean, the piano bar.
I moved to Spain, and then I moved from Spain to Canary. Well, same Spain, Canary Islands, which is Spain, and to Tenerife, a place called Tenerife, and I was there for about 22 years after that.
22 years.
Round about that, yeah. It was. It could have been less than that.
And that was what? That was just playing music in Tenerife?
Put it this way, 1986 to 2008. So.
Long time. That was what, in the piano bar or jazz or?
I was doing everything there. Started off in the piano bar because piano bars were still going quite well then in that time, and then the piano bar thing sort of like died off when the karaoke came in. The piano bar death. It was the death of the piano bar, and then the shows came in. Then the look-alike, the sound-alike things came in, and I didn't like that because I thought it's like a rip-off and all this. I never saw the good side.
Potential, the good side.
I saw the negative side. I thought, oh, come on, how can you do that? Copying somebody else. It's ridiculous. So, but gradually,
see where I look at that. I think it's like it's showing your appreciation of the person. When somebody copies you, I think even if you take a track that you write. I mean, you write songs. Bobby writes songs. So if somebody takes your song and uses it in something, I think it's the same thing. It's an appreciation of what they're doing.
When time went by, I saw that side of it. I did an ABBA group, after the piano bar thing, I mean, I didn't just go from that to that. I mean, during that time, I was doing hotels and things like that, and playing with various bands in Tenerife, and doing my own thing too, you know. But then I decided that you know, I was asked. Now that's what happened. Yeah, I was asked to do a show about ABBA. Benny, you know, the guy with the beard.
Yeah.
I was supposed to do him, and they made a big plastic grand piano for me. I'd grew my hair and a beard, and everybody said I looked like a lorry driver. You know? So that was that.
I'm ready for the part now, Al. I'm ready for ABBA. No, you're not. You're ready for the truck. It's outside. So did you do the ABBA though? Yeah,
it gave me some great ground training for, you know. It was a very famous company called Romantic, and actually in Thailand they're everywhere. This company Romantic, and they gave me this ground training, and I thought to myself, now I know what it's all about. All this show thing, it's not about music as much as what it is about the pantomime. You know.
Well, it is. It's you know, the music is the music, and the music's there as part of it. But you know, when you're on tour and you're doing stuff, it's, you know, taking away the music side of it. The rest of it is showbiz. It's entertainment. Yeah. It's, you know, it's a circus with music. That's what it is.
And I learned to dress up, and I learned that it was all about how you presented yourself.
Yeah.
It was your movements, your acting. Yep. And that's when I began to realise there was another side to entertainment. So I didn't leave the jazz. I still love jazz. I always kept on my jazz stuff. But I went to that side of it, and I'm still like that now to this day. I'm just, you know, I use it. A little after that, when I did that ABBA, 1 year after that, in 2001, I went to be out in John Copper, yeah. But I decided that I was going to do it really right and proper, and I did, and it worked very well. I was in Mallorca, and I was traveling all over the place.
I can get it, because, you know, I mean, you know, I've worked on the cruise ships, and I've worked with some of these lookalikes over the years, you know, and to be honest with you, they were so entertaining. It was unreal. And from a distance, if you closed your eyes with some of them, you would have thought the real person's on the stage. I mean, some of them were brilliant. And of course, what we've got to say is, you know, I mean, I was going backwards and forwards from UK to Norway and back on the 24 hours there, 25 hours. So we had different crowds all the time, and we had different people on the boat who did different show times and things like that. But totally, 110% entertaining.
Yeah. And so, I mean, like, it started off with Elvis, didn't it? It was just Elvis and ABBA at the beginning. And then you had the Noel Diamonds coming, and then it started Rod Stewart and stuff. And you started to see the Shirley Bassey's coming, and it was brilliant.
Tina Turner's.
Yeah, it was amazing. And
well, they do a tour. They do a tour now, today as we speak. They do an 80s tour of 80s sort of figureheads, you know, like from the, you know, the days of you know, the Tina Turners and Spandau Ballets and all these people. They do a tour together around the world still today, and it's still going strong, and they're still booked up for over 2 years. I mean, so it just shows you that side of the entertainment hasn't died, because the music side of it today isn't what I would call as entertaining as it was. Would you agree with that, Bobby?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Would you say that? I mean, it's, you know, don't get me wrong. Anybody that makes music, fantastic, brilliant. I love all that. Okay, but if you haven't got the entertainment side to go with that, if you haven't got the showbiz side to go with that, then really you haven't got a lot. You've got the music, which is fair enough, but composers do their thing. But I like the thing that comes under the heading showbiz.
Yeah, all right, you're right about that. And but there's, like I say, there is another side of everybody, and there's a music side of me too, the composer.
Yes.
And I'm composing now. I mean, I've had this, with this lockdown thing. Well, we're not locked down here, but I mean, with all this what's going on, I've found an incredible amount of time on my hands.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have, though, Tim. But surely, you know, times like this. I mean, you know, me and Bobby spend, you know, every day of the week together here, and we talk about lots of different things, disagree on things, and we just talk. It's like being married, but well, it is. It's married less the boobs. But we talk about lots of things, and like Bobby says, you know, it gives you a lot of time, like you've just said, to think, and also productive things can come out of it. You know, I mean, out of this mess at the moment, I think that there's also going to be a lot of good things as well.
Yeah, I think
this has been hibernation time for a lot of people. Go in and write, compose.
Musicians have done that, and there's been some nice music come out, and really good music too, not rush stuff, you know. you've had your time to be able to do it and stuff, and it's great because I mean jazz. Yeah, I like jazz, but I also like the show type of music. It's like the ballads and the, not opera, but I suppose it's the type of modern opera. Where they sing the songs like the Weber, Andrew Lloyd Webber, that sort of music. And I'm doing that now. I mean,
you're just doing the West Side shows, and it's Weber's productions, Cats, and all those. They're phenomenal. I mean, they're brilliant. You just have to go to see them. They're just like the production on them is fantastic.
Yeah, it's like that, and so I'm me personally, I'm sort of like concentrating on that, and then I'm getting to ping pong to other stuff. I'm going to jazz and Latin jazz and stuff. And I've got these two sides of me, like I'm sharing. So I'm not getting bored at all with one type of music,
Yeah.
But not entertaining. I mean, I'm just waiting for that to come back. But
you've got in front of you, I believe you've got a song that you've written. Yes.
Yeah, I do actually, guys. I got a song that I can't see without these glasses.
That's okay. If you want to change microphones, Tim, and then we can go with that. And what's this one called?
Well, this is called Healing Rhapsody, okay? Because it's a song I wrote. I wrote the music a long time ago, but the lyrics only recently, which is why I need them in front of me to read them.
Okay, not a problem.
So this is called the Healing Rhapsody, and it's my own piece of music, and it's like it would be used in a show song,
Okay, you can leave both mics there. You can do whatever you want to do, mate. It's not a problem.
This one so I can see the lyrics.
Yeah.
And I'll do this song then. Why not? Yeah.
Why not? Let's do it. And this is called what? Sorry, Tim.
Healing Rhapsody.
Healing Rhapsody. Yeah.
Okay, Healing Rhapsody. It is okay.
It's all about forgetting war and not going to war and us coming together, everybody coming together. This is what this is about. You're going to hear it. You're going to hear it in the words. Anyway.
Okay, all right.
Here we go.
The floor is yours, as they say.
Yeah.
And the jar's filling up. We've already got 20 baht, by the way.
Can I have the piano as well? All right, then here we go then.
Okay.
The Healing Rhapsody by Tim Hedges.
Tim Hedges, take one.
Okay, here we go. Okay. When all the guns have been silenced and all the swords turn to plows, when all the fighting is over and no mother's son will go to war and never come back to her door, when every man has abundance and all the hunger is gone, then we can all sign together like a human race that cares and thinks as one. Many have suffered in silence, others have found by the way. But even when there's compliance, devil's defiance calls him to stay. Light up a home with a candle, and when the darkness will die, one voice will break all the silence, calling out to every man alive to look towards the sky. And as the priest brings ascension, someone is calling above, and what surrounds it isn't love, light that surrounds in love. Hunger has come out of nowhere. Famine was hiding her life, but why to stand in our own truth into the morning, out into the night. And when the love comes together and all the healing is done, 10 billion souls sing together, and our collective conscience comes to be as one. 10 billion souls sing together, and our collective conscience comes to be as one.
Beautiful, I like that. I mean, and that was written and composed by you, yes?
Yeah, I did it all.
Oh, hang on, we're missing
I love the words, man.
That's it. Yeah.
There we go.
Positive for such a crazy time. It's like a prayer.
Yeah, it's,
Do you want to pull him into you, mate, Tim? Do you want to
yeah,
pull him right?
I've just pulled it in. I've just.
I've got to say hello to you guys, Nat and Handy. How you doing? Robert's over in LA. Okay, how you doing as well? Brian, hello to you. Malcolm, of course, thanks a lot for joining us today. Bob and Gary, thanks a lot from the UK. Brandon, of course, over there in the UK as well. Scott, Nina, Benny, Keith, and David, thanks a lot for getting us online as well. Okay, we've got a couple of links, and of course, later on tonight we'll be recording. We were recording another show later tonight, aren't we?
John Cullen.
John
Cullen.
Yeah. So he's going to be on tonight, isn't he?
Actually, we're not going to go live tonight. We're
recording it.
Yeah,
tonight,
we're recording it and release it later.
Release it what, tomorrow?
We can release it tonight. I mean, after it's finished, after the show's done.
Wow, you're so efficient.
Yeah.
You should be married to me.
You said we were married. You said we were married, but I didn't have boobs.
Well, that's okay. That we can put that in the prenuptial agreement.
You're going to buy me some boobs?
Hey,
you're going to buy me some boobs?
Do you know what? I wish I had some money back for all the ones I had brought. Do you realise how many 50% of boobs I own around the world? Going from where you were, Tim, and of course doing your thing. I mean, where did you sort of went for 20 odd years there, and you ended up where? In Thailand after that?
Well, you know, it's like things didn't go too well with my wife at the time. It's a long story.
It's all right. We got till Saturday, Tim. Carry on.
All right. Basically,
cut a long story short. We left.
Yeah. No. I can't find her anywhere. She's gone. She ran off with everything. Yeah. So I've been left with nothing, and so I'm out here, and I got a job out here. Actually, that's how I got out here. I got out here from somebody had found me a position in a hotel playing the piano, and I was sort of like, Thailand, you know, it's a bit far away, you know, and but I'd give it a go, and I came out and it worked very well. Actually, it wasn't actually a hotel; it was a bar called News Piano Jazz Bar, and it was a great place, a fantastic place, and that worked very well.
And that was here in Pattaya or Bangkok?
Bangkok, yeah. And then I went on to the Sheraton in the living room, and I played the jazz in the living room in the Sheraton Hotel, Sheraton Grand, and I met some really fantastic people there, some top stars there.
What about sort of like, can I say breaks or near misses, or, you know, the how close you were to becoming, you know, in a different sort of like things you've lost or missed? Have you had any of those sort of situations in your life? Whereas if you think to yourself, if I would have done that, or, you know... regrets and whatever. No, yeah. I think that, you know, really, I do regret losing nearly 300,000 euros with somebody I thought I trusted. Well, he was a good jockey.
I can laugh at that. At least I can laugh at that.
You've got to, mate. You have to.
But that really sort of like nags at me, you know, because then I think to myself, but then, you know, I've learned to dump the material. I mean, I haven't done choice really. Dump the material side of things, you know.
But you know what? That's exactly what you've just said. It's the material side of things that really, people give a lot of thought to, but really they don't give a damn to what they really mean. I mean, material things, they come and go. It's your life, it's your family that matters the most, not what you're sitting on or what you're watching.
That's right. You get chained to all this stuff, don't you? Porsche. I used to have a Porsche too in Tenerife. And you get chained to this, and it's sort of like if you haven't got it, you don't feel right. But it shouldn't be that way, should it?
Yeah, but the thing is, you feel as I've been there, and I would imagine Bobby has as well. Sometimes we feel as though we're expected to be that kind of person because that's what we're doing. If we're in the entertainment business, or we're doing this, or we're doing that, and we have the opportunities, it's expected of us to drive around in a new car. It's expected of us to have a lot of money or a big house and a nice girl on your arm. But like you say, it's not necessary when we look back on things. No,
when you finally lose it, and then you start to really realise. I think it's like a lesson in life. You think yourself, well, I'm happy like this. I'm very. I've got 14 chickens, and
Well, there you go. Last week you only had 12, so come on.
14 chickens.
How many people can say that though, Tim?
What's that?
There's people out there watching this show now going, I haven't got 14 chickens.
No,
They've got a Porsche.
There's 2 over there.
We got 2 more. We got 2 more over here.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a guy sitting there now who's got a Porsche 911, a big house, he's got a boat outside, and he's got everything, and you've just stumped him.
I had one of those too.
I've got 14 chickens.
I used to have a boat. That's another thing that went to Mallorca,
Yeah.
Yeah, I could go on about it, but I don't.
You don't. I mean, listen, we've all got regrets, and we've all done stupid things, and we've lost money, we've made money, we've done whatever. In Thailand, I mean, being at Bangkok and the Sheraton and that, I mean, surely you met some good people. I mean, how did that draw you down to this way, down to Pattaya way, and where you are now?
I really wanted to leave the big city, and I didn't know whether to go to Hua Hin or this end. I knew somebody this end, and I thought I'd give this end a try. But it wasn't actually here. It was Rayong that I wanted to go because I wanted to get away from any buildings, tall buildings and stuff like that, which I don't like at all. And I actually, when I started the Elton John show, I found I needed to get a little bit nearer, so I went to a place called Ban Chang. It was about an hour's drive from here. And so I thought, well, it makes sense if I'm living there, if I'm doing more gigs. But I ended up anyway doing more gigs in Hua Hin, than I did actually in Pattaya.
Amazing.
More demand over there, yeah. For
different clientele over there.
Yeah, I mean, I got it here too, but it was like I think it was just more demand. They didn't have so many
acts.
Yeah, like that. There's something novelty for them.
Sure.
So like a Rod Stewart or somebody like that going over there and stuff. It was like, oh my God, this is different. This is something else.
Yeah. Well, we're hopefully when all this is back, all this mess that we're in at the moment passes us by. Hopefully things will come back here, and we'll start to see some. Entertainment still going on. I mean, there's a lot of entertainment that's still going on, but it's not got the feeling as though it had before when things were like pumping on all cylinders.
That's right, yeah.
So hopefully it's going to be a good one. Right, listen, Tim, we want you to play us out today, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
What do you want to do? Do you want to do one of your own tracks? Do you want to do what would you like to do?
I like my own song. I do Elton John, but I mean, the thing is about Elton John.
I want to hear your song.
Yeah, well, I do.
Your written song, not your song, but
hang on, your song, Elton John song, or your song?
No, he already did that.
Yeah, I already did that.
I know that.
I want to hear your composition.
That's why I'm saying it, Bobby.
Were you trying to make a joke?
I was.
Okay, so why don't I do it? Why don't I do this song? I mean, this is all. I'm breaking new ground. I've never sang this song live.
Is this called Dave's song?
No, this is a little song.
Do you want the microphone, the other one, the singing microphone?
Yeah, I will, but I'm still talking. So what I'm going to do? So what I've been doing in this time, as you know, is just sitting at home. Not sitting at home. I've been doing some gardening and stuff like you do when you're not doing anything else. And I've been writing these songs, and I think this is a lovely song. It's called "My Love for Life Is Here to Stay," and I wrote the words laying on a bed outside. One of these beds you lay on, sunbeds. And I just put the music together with it. So let me just do this song then. Okay, this is
okay. Go say it to Leia's saying hello. Dune is saying hello. Nathan is saying hello. And Colin is saying
hey Nathan,
welcome to the show. Maria over in Sweden. She's in a tribute band. Okay, I know her from years and years ago. She's saying, liking the show, like Tim and Elton John songs, well done. Keep up the celebrity status because people like it, even if it's not the McCoy. So there you go. That's a nice compliment, by the way, because she's in a very famous band. Okay, all right. So, and we also have to say, I've got to say hello to. I've got a special message here because I've had that many people. It was. I mean, I'm going to speak to Danny, but it was. Remember Mark Bolan and his wife? Yeah. Yep. Well, the guy that plays Mark Bolan at the moment in Two T-Rex, the singer actually looks like Mark Bolan. He passed away yesterday. So that's yeah.
Wait, the guy that wrote the song for him.
No, there was Mark Bolan and his wife, his girlfriend, together, and then there was a band went out which was called T-Rex, which was like Mark Bolan's stuff with the band and all that, and the singer looked like him, but he passed away yesterday, and I've seen that Mark's fiance from before had put a thing on, and I sent her to say, you know, we will send her our best wishes. So we did. So there we go. Anyway, we're thinking of that. Yep. Okay. Right. Okay. Tim, listen, it's been a good one. Thank you very much for coming in. Yes.
It's a pleasure. Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. You're welcome. You like this one today? Nice. Good. You enjoy this one?
Totally loving it.
Good. Yes. I like.
Thank you, man.
I like the Elton John stuff, but I like your stuff a little bit better. If you ask my opinion. Pakwan.
Sweet mouth.
Sweet mouth.
That's a nice compliment.
We're paying him today, by the way.
We got to hear another song.
All right. Okay. This one is called Tim.
This is called "Our Love Is Here to Stay." My love for life is here to stay. Not to be confused with that other one.
My love for life is here to stay.
Yeah, my love for life is here.
And Bobby can come to me any day.
Don't go there, man.
This show's great. This song comes complete with tissues.
Big puff.
Yep. Not me, mate. Okay, all right, here we go. Thanks a lot. Tim Hedges in the studio and his own composure. Thanks for joining us today on Talking Heads. We're going to leave you with one of Tim's tracks. All yours.
How does it feel to see the full moon slowly rising? How does it feel to see the sun come up and another day is born? Tell me, how does it make you feel? Tell me, how does it make you feel? How does it feel to hear 100 children sing? How does it feel to see the sun go down and another day is gone? Tell me, how does it make you feel? Tell me, how does it make you feel? Life precious gifts is the perfect thrill, and as we turn the page, the other side, eyes open wide, and there's another page before you knew before. That's what you saw, and another day that you swear on. My life is boring, can you stay? I'll never be another way. Love is here to stay. La 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 la. La 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 la. It gives me a thrill to see the mist around the mountainside. Up in the hill to see the eagles wheeling thermals in the sky. I know how that makes me feel. I know just how that makes me feel. Oh, what do you think when you're gonna speak and the words come out? How does it feel When you try to sing in emotion Wednesday, tell me how does it make you feel? Tell me how does it make you feel? Our minds and prayers to share the fruits of life like swallows in the wind. We fly away high in the sky. Our hearts are like a fiddle of fireflies. That's what we are, like the rainbow-colored flame. There we are, a lover's life. I'm here to stay. There'll be no other way. Yeah. My love for life is here to stay. La 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 la, la la la, la 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 la, la la la. I know how it feels to compose the sweetest music you'll ever hear. I know how it feels when the lyrics rhyme and it up down to the song. I know how that makes me feel. I know just how that makes me feel. I know my work is worth the thrill, and time is frozen and the earth keeps spinning round. How many fades and the fragrance of the night has come. The melody fades and the piano lid is closing on the song. For life is born each day. There'll never be no other way. My love for life is here to stay.
Talking Heads podcast live from Pattaya, Thailand with your host Dave D. Join us weekdays. Check out all the latest updates on talkingheads-podcast.com.